Hello, my most amazing artists. Today we're going to be working on our Chilean Arpillera project. Today we're going to be folding these little origami houses to place in our landscape. So if you notice, I have one that's smaller and one that's larger. And the way we're going to do this is we'll place the larger one somewhere near the bottom in the foreground because it's going to be in the front. And we will place the small one somewhere in the middle to background so it shows space. It helps to show that this one is further away than this one. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is go and grab you two pieces of origami paper. One is larger, one is smaller. I'm going to show you on the larger one how we're going to fold this. Okay, so we are going to fold our origami house. And this already has crease lines on it because I folded it wrong the first time. So I unfolded it and now I'm going to show you. So the first thing that you're going to do is fold your origami paper in half. And it is very important when you're making origami that your creases in your paper is folded precisely. If you don't fold this precisely, then your origami is not going to turn out right. So we are folding this in half to create this crease line in the middle to use as a guideline. And now what we're going to do, we're going to open it up and fold the bottom up to the crease. So you're going to line it up and fold it to the crease. All right. And then you're going to flip it over to the back and you're going to fold the top down to the crease. So now you should have one white side and one printed side on both sides. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is flip it back over and you are going to fold it in half this way to create a little bitty square. And you're going to open it up and you are going to fold. Let's see. This is where you need to decide, do you want your roof to be printed or do you want your roof to be white? So whichever side has the flap up, that is the side, that's what's going to show. So, or it's the opposite of what's going to show. You might just have to play around with this. Okay, so I want this printed side to show. So I'm going to flip mine over. And I'm going to fold it into the crease. So there's the crease I just folded, the halfway point. I'm going to fold this into the crease. And I'm going to fold this into the crease. And you should have a vertical line going up and you should have some flaps that will open. Okay? And if your printed side is not like this and it's your white side that's doing this, then you can just open it back up, flip it over and do it the opposite way, and then you'll have it go the opposite way. Okay, I hope I'm not totally confusing you. Just bear with me here. Okay, so my little flaps that are sticking up here should have a vertical line going down the center where you folded in to the middle. Okay, and with this flap, I'm going to stick my finger all the way in it, and it's going to start opening it up. I'm going to pull my finger to the side, and then I'm going to put my finger right here on the edge, and this will start opening up into a triangle, and I'm just going to press that down. Okay, so again, you're going to put your finger in the flap, and put your other finger on the corner right here, put your finger, and then flatten it out, and that will create two triangles. Now flip it over because this is all opening right here. You're going to flip it over to this side, and you could then add a door. You can have Sharpies at your table. You could add some windows. You could add whatever details that you want. And you will take your small paper and you will do the same thing. So you're going to fold up. Be sure that your folds are very neat. You folded this first one to create a guideline. So now we have this one crease in here, and we're going to fold up to that crease, being very careful to be very precise. I wasn't exactly precise there, so I'm going to fix it before I move on. So it's okay if you mess up, just fix it before you move on. Okay, flip it over, and you should still be able to see your crease. You're going to fold this down to that middle crease. Okay, and then you're going to fold in half. And take this and fold in half. This is the part where you could flip it over if you'd like, and it's up to you. You decide how you want to do this. So I'm going to flip this one over so the roof is going to be white on this one. So I'm folding to that middle line that I just folded. Remember when I folded it in half to begin with, it created a middle line. And now I'm folding into that and folding into the middle line. And that creates this opening like a door, just open like a door, a vertical line going through it, and these little flaps sticking up. And then remember, you're going to place your finger inside and move it to the side. And just try to make the best triangle that you can make. So finger inside, move it to the side. The smaller ones are a little bit trickier, but use your hands to manipulate the paper. And there we have it. So now I've got a little one and a big one. So I'm not going to draw on this one yet. I'm going to go ahead and glue it down so you can see what I'm doing. So now I'll take my paper and I'll decide where I want to put this. Okay, obviously my flowers look huge compared to my house, so I may choose to put my house up here. If you have flowers in the bottom and they look huge, then you may have to move your house to show that. If I put it here, it just looks like, it looks odd perspective-wise. So I think I'm going to glue this one here, and then this one's smaller, so it needs to go up higher. So go here, here it really doesn't matter. Let's see. And you are going to just decide where you want to glue them, flip them over on the back, open your glue, should be breathing, and look, squeeze, but press down to the paper. And just do a few polka dots. And I'm going to put my first house right here. Now, the bottom of your house, right here, should be parallel to the bottom of your paper. If you glue your house in sideways like this line is not parallel to the bottom of my paper, then your house is going to look like it's tilting over. So be sure that you glue correctly so that your house doesn't look like it's on a tilt-a-whirl. Okay, so I'm going to squeeze and just, this is a really tiny piece of paper, so I'm just squeezing a tiny bit and tapping the tip of the glue bottle to the paper, the actual paper. Okay, and I think I'm going to glue this one up here on the mountain. Also, your house should not be in the sky. That would not make sense. It should not be going off the edge of the mountain unless, you know, you could do something real fancy and glue it like it's sitting on the edge of the mountain, and maybe take your Sharpie and put it on stilts. Sometimes houses are on stilts. So I don't know, that might look kind of crazy, but you could do that. All right, our house would need to be, our doorway would need to be on the ground if you did that. It wouldn't make sense for the doorway to be out here in the air. When you get done with your origami houses and you've glued them in, really press them down. You might kind of massage them a little bit to make sure that they're glued down good. But when you're done with that, if you did not finish or you did not start your puff paint, you could add puff paint. You also could add more flowers. So I'll have a table set up so that you can add more flowers. Some of you had to glue in a sheet of paper and the flowers are upside down on your paper. So you may need to make some right side up flowers. So I'm just going to do several more stems. And I'm going to do a lot of them because I just want to fill my flowers up. They are right side up, but I want to make it look like I have a bunch of flowers here in the foreground. So basically today your job is to create your origami houses. If you have time after you create and glue down your origami houses, you may kind of fancy this up a little bit.